Hey guys, and welcome back to the next episode. On our last lesson, we did lesson 7.1. Here we went ahead and we're doing lesson 7.3, not 7.2, because it is it's a continuation really of lesson 7.1. So let's jump right on in. On lesson 7.3, we are going to, again, just as in 7.1, we're going to be adding fractions with like denominators. That's what the task is at hand. And we are going to use models to also add fractions with, again, like denominators. And we're going to be able to explain how to add fractions with like denominators. So for lesson 7.3, let's take a look at our Explore. Here it tells us to write each fraction as a sum of unit fractions. Use models to help. So there's two very basic things that you just need to remember for this particular lesson. Is here it's telling you a sum of unit fractions. The key word that we're looking for is this word right here, units. The reason why I'm saying that is because you need to think of each particular unit. That means if I have 3 over 6, right, what would be my unit? My unit is 6. So I know that 1/6 is only 1 unit of sixths. So if I have to show 3/6 as a sum of unit fractions, it would be the unit 1/6 plus itself 3 times. So I'm going to have 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 3 times because my numerator is 3. So therefore 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 is equal to 3 over 6. If we move over here, we have 5/6. So if I had 5/6, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add 1/6 plus another 6 plus another 6 plus another 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 5 plus another 6. Now I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones is 5 and 6. So my unit fraction is 5/6. In other words, whatever your fraction is that unit that many times. You look at the numerator to determine how many units you are going to need. So here, now we're going to add, if I had 3/6, because now it says how many unit fractions did you use in all to rewrite the fractions above, and how does this relate to the sum of 3/6 plus 5/6? Well, it relates to the sum because what you're doing is you're adding, first of all, you're adding the numerators, you're adding on to those fraction units. So if I have 3/6 plus 5/6, therefore I know that I used 8 units. So because 3 plus 5 over 6 is equal to 8 over 6. So I used 8 units, 8/1/6 unit fractions. So the sum of 3/6 plus 5/6 also uses 1/6 fractions. So therefore, they are both in the 1/6 unit fractions. So I have a total of 8 sixths. Okay, let's take a look at build understanding and add fractions. For build understanding and add fractions, it says to add fractions with like denominators, add the numerators. The denominators stay the same, just like I said in the previous lesson. So the denominators stay the same. I'm only going to be adding my numerators. In this case, if I had, looking at my number line, from starting at 0, I have 1, 2, 3, plus 4 more. I continue my counting. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. So I am actually adding the 3 plus the 4 That's going to give me 7, but my unit stays the same. I have 7/10. Here I have to find 5/4 plus 3/4. Same thing. What am I going to add? I'm going to add the 5/4 plus the 3/4. Therefore, I'm putting them all together to equal 8/4. And remember, I have an improper fraction. What is 8 divided by 4? 2. So 8/4 is equal to 2. That's another way of saying 8/4. And those are sum of fractions. So let's go ahead and try it. It tells us to add. Now we're just adding the sum of fractions. Okay? We are adding 1/8 plus 2/8. I'm really adding the 1 plus the 2, which makes it a 3/8. For question 2, see exactly what I had told you, that this is a continuation of what we had done earlier. For question 2, the same thing. I'm going to add 3 plus 7, which is 10, and I keep my 12, 10/12. For number 3, I'm going to add 6 plus 2, which is 8, over, I keep my 5. For number 4, I'm going to add my 8 plus 8, which is equal to 16, over 16. But 16 over 16, I can write that as a 1 because it's equal to 1 whole. Okay, and let's take a look at the in-class practice. So for the in-class practice, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be adding the numerators together. So I'm going to add 3 plus 2, 5, and I keep my 6, 5/6. Let's move on to number 6. I have 8 plus 4 is 12. Here's my improper fraction, 12 over 2. What is 12 divided by 2? Is 6. For number 7, I'm going to add again 4 plus 1, which is 5, over 5. But what can we call that? We can call it a 1 whole, right? For number 8, we're going to add 60 plus 35. We're keeping 100, and we're only adding 60 plus 35, which is equal to 95 hundredths. Back to this one. See, I have 2 wholes. Just like I told you last time, what are 2 wholes? I know 1 whole. This is going to tell me my whole, this number right here. So my whole is 3/3, but that's only 1 whole. I have 2 of them. So I'm going to add it one more time. Now I have 2 wholes plus the fraction that's already there, 5/3. That's going to be 3 plus 3, which is 6, plus 5 is 11 over 3. So my fraction then would be 11/3. Or, like I told you before, let me do that with the different, so that you see that that's different. Okay, the other strategy that I taught you in the last one was that you said, I know that the denominator is going to be 3. I'm going to put a 3 right here, and I'm going to multiply 3 times 2, which is 6. And now I just add across 6 plus 5 is 11, and I keep the 3. Okay, same thing here. I am going to, exactly. So if I look over here, okay, I could do 12/12 plus 12/12 plus 12/12 6 times plus 1/12. Okay, but if I do that, right, if I do that, I'm going to get 72 plus 173. So in other words, let me explain to what I'm getting at is if I put a 12 here and I multiply 12 times 6 is going to be 72. This is going to give me 73. 73 over 12. Now, I have to divide. So, it's going to be 73. If I divide, in other words, let's do it like this. If I divide 73 into 12, right? What is that going to give me? In other words, 12 times, what's the closest thing to 12 that's going to give me 72? Okay, it's going to be 6, right? Exactly. Because I know that 6 times 12, it's right here. 6 times 12 is 72. So it's going to be a 72 here. And then I subtract. Remainder is 1. Okay, so in other words, I'm really going to get the same exact thing if I would have just added 6 plus 1, 12. Because I'm going to get 6 and then 1 over 12. That's exactly what I'm going to get. Okay, so for that one, I'm going to get the same exact thing if I would have just done 6 plus the 112. And that's it. Okay, let's move on over to number 11. I'm going to add 3 plus 1 plus 1. So that's 3, 4, 5 over 4. Same thing. If I look at question 12, I'm going to add 6 plus 5 plus 4, which is 15/8. And then the last and final one, if I add 43 plus 16 plus 10, that's going to give me 69 hundredths. I keep my hundred, so it's going to give me 69 over 100. Okay, so it's the same exact strategy that we were using before in lesson 7.1. Now let's take a look at model a problem. It says number 14, explain how to add 3/4 and then another fourth. Use the model to support your answer. Okay, that's simple. If I had 3/4, let's color in 3/4, but I added 1/4 to that. Okay, what would be my final answer? It would be 3/4 plus, let's write our equation, plus 1/4 equals 4/4. But I could also say that the whole entire thing is shaded and it equals 1. And that's it. Uh, let's go ahead and move on over to question 16. That's the last question that I want to do with you guys because it's a long word problem. So let's take a look at, or you know what, let's go ahead and do number 15 too, because that's a dig deeper, and those dig deepers are always pretty good. It says a sum has 5 addends. Addends are numbers you add together. Each addend is a unit fraction. Remember what I told you, that word unit fraction. The sum is 1. What are the addends? It says there's 5 addends. Each addend is a unit. So does it tell you that it has to be a specific number? No. It just tells you that there's 5 fractions, unit fractions. And then when I add them together, right, it has to equal 1. It has to equal this over this, which is equal to 1. Now I am going to tell you this. It has 5 addends. 5. That's an important number because if I had 6, would 1/6 5 times give me 1 whole? No, it would give me 5/6. So it can be a 6. It does actually have to be. It doesn't tell you what number to use, but it does have to be a specific number. In this case, it has to be a 5. Why? Because 1/5 unit fraction plus another unit fraction plus a third unit fraction plus another unit fraction. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 unit fractions plus the 5th unit fraction. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 addend. There's 5 addends. Each addend is a unit fraction. They're all unit fractions, and there's 5 of them. And therefore, if I add them all together, that gives me 5/5. 5/5 is also equivalent to 1 whole. That was it. So that was a dig deeper. Now let's take a look at number 16. For number 16, it says you and a friend order a vegetable pizza. Describe how 2/10 plus 3/10 equals X. How that might represent the situation, and then find the unknown number. What does this number represent? So if it says you and a friend order a vegetable pizza, that means that one of us must have had 2/10 of the pizza and the other one must have had 3/10 of the pizza. So how does this help me? It helps me find the unknown number, because if I add 2/10 plus 3/10, that lets me know that there's 5/10 of the pizza. That is the unknown number. The unknown number is 5/10. And then it says, so we did find the unknown number. So that's how that equation helps us. It helps us find 5/10. What does the number represent? Well, the number represents the fraction of the pizza you and your friend ate all together. That means that you guys bought a pizza. You had 2 slices out of the 10 slices. Your friend had 3 slices out of the 10 slices. So together, you ate a total of 5 slices together out of the 10 slices. That means you really have half a pizza left, because 5/10 is 1/2. So that pretty much just lets you know that it lets you know how much of the pizza was eaten, which is 5/10. But it also lets you know how much of the pizza is left, because in this case, half of it is left. So that's exactly what helps you figure out. All right, guys. So there you have it for our lesson. Remember to subscribe, and that way you guys can stay up to date with all my current lessons that I'm giving. And don't forget to ring that bell so that you can get those notifications in every time I upload a new lesson. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.